बढ़िया सी नहीं लग रही, गंदी सी लग रही है। चलो
I
स्टार्ट करो।
think we are live now. Okay, hi everyone. This is Aditya.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Amit.
Hey, this is Kunal Naik.
Okay, cool, guys. If you can hear us loud and clear, you can see us absolutely fine. Please let us know in the chat box, and we can start with introduction and let everyone else join. In the meantime, I'll also check connection at my end. So, going on LinkedIn, let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah, we are live on LinkedIn.
Let me check on YouTube. I guess it is live on YouTube as well.
Okay, cool. People are jumping in. Okay, guys, let us know in the comments box that you can hear us loud and clear. You can see us absolutely fine. And then we'll get started very soon.
Yeah, hi Neelam, how are you? Yes, I can see Kunal, Neelam comment now. YouTube is fine. We are live there also.
Okay, we are live. Cool. Let me check. Da-da-da. Okay, we are good here. Okay. So, guys, let's start by sharing our current location. I'm currently located in Miami, Florida, and here I've added my location in the chat box. Where are you located, Kunal?
I am from Thailand, from Bangalore, but currently it's moving from traveling in Thailand.
I would say, guys, one big like for Kunal, who is joining us today live from Thailand, even his on his vacation. Uh, and hi everyone. So I am currently joining in from Toronto in Canada. Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, feel free to share your location in the chat box. Also, let us know um, what is the weather at your location. Like, what's the temperature? So, at in Miami, it is 22 degrees centigrade right now. Amit,
Canada
so
is -4.
-4. Very good.
Yeah, it's
Kunal, what's weather in Thailand?
Very hot.
Oh, it's hot.
yeah.
Okay.
What is the temperature? I guess
Right, I think so. It's around 30-ish, I guess.
30. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, we have an attendee from Nigeria. Okay, Patna, Pune. And guys, please take a moment to quickly like and repost this event before we get started so that others can also join. Joining from Dublin, Ireland. Weather here is cold and damp. Okay. I don't know. I've realized that whenever weather is cold, the traffic moves slow,
yeah, because
right?
there are high chances of accident. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, here yesterday the weather wasn't that cold. I mean, like it was a 13, 14 degrees centigrade.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I've noticed, whenever weather it's cold, like it usually take a long time in traffic. Okay, we have Sambig from Texas. And guys, just want to quickly know how many of you are connected with me through email that we are having conversation. I can already see some people, but just want to quickly check uh, that you are receiving my emails and we are in an active conversation. I don't want you to be connected with me in a matter of like receiving just an information like a news board, but rather than you're actually getting some meaningful information. So you can write yes in comments if you are connected with me on email. Uh,
And if somebody wants to connect with you, how they can connect with you?
how they can connect with me, that's a good question. Just put your email in the comments box and my team will add you to my database and I'll start reaching out to you and then we can have conversations. So guys, on through email, like we recently started this where we are trying to understand each and every community member, trying to provide them very specific help and I think it's helping me, right, understanding our audience and getting them right resources and mentors. And my objective is that it also helps you, right? Because we cannot provide one fit solution to everyone. Like,
And I guess that once we understand the audience, we can provide you customized jobs also in future.
yeah.
That is what our plan is.
Mhm. So, guys, okay. So, Sushila, Ashok, Chandan, Michael, thanks for confirming, guys. Prati, Shavana, okay, cool. Thanks, Ruchika, for sharing your email ID. Is there, if there is anyone, guys, who's not connected with me on email, please share your email ID so that I'll reach out to you, and we can have a more engaged discussion. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So I think we have good enough people to get started. Hi, Hans. So we will add your mail ID, and I'll reach out to you. Okay. And just before we get started, I hope all of you are on the Discord community as well. If you're not on the Discord community, let me share an invite link for you. On Discord community, we are about 5,000 people right now, who are who are related to software engineering and data science. So you'll find a lot of other people who are in a similar position like you, maybe in the same stage of career. So you can build your community, and there are a lot of other mentors as well. Okay, so let me quickly share our Discord community link. I don't have it handy with me. Let me search it. Let me search it. It should
Does
be.
this QR code doesn't work? That which is there on the
Yeah, no, the QR code work. You can search for the QR code, but what I realized that with QR code,
uh
uh, yeah, you need to have that app installed first,
Oh, okay, got it.
right? Uh, so I think it's better if I provide you a link. Okay, so I'm adding a link here in the chat box for everyone. Okay, join Discord community. And by the way, on this Discord community, we are also going to help you with anything related to this particular session or this particular project. So it will be like a long-term relationship in the conversation on Discord community. Okay, so please join this Discord community, and we'll be more than happy to help you over there. Let me check if the link is working. Okay, perfect. This is working. Yeah, by the way, our Discord community just crossed 5,000 people, and we started just a few
Eh,
months.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And that we are planning to bring some really good stuff on Discord also.
And guys, yeah, this is one question that I have.
Mhm.
When you join, those who are already in Discord community, right? Definitely you get help related to live project discussion. But I want to know what else you want to see on Discord community. What type of help are you looking for? Or I don't know, like don't take this word help, but tell me what is your expectation that okay, I need help related to this or that. That would motivate you more come to the Discord community, or probably will help you achieve your current career goal, right? So I don't want to give you options, otherwise you'll pick from those options. So whatever is in your mind, just put it in the chat box,
Yeah.
right? Because I want to understand that we have guys all kind of resources and help available. Uh, but I think if you tell me that okay, this is exactly where we need help, uh, it would certainly help us. Okay. Okay, cool. So let us know, guys, in the chat box, and then we are almost ready to get started. A well guided project. Okay, Avinash, that's helpful. So
We are
we,
going to discuss that today in today's session only. A well
okay,
guided project about that.
okay. So that's one. What else, guys? Anything else that you want to see on Discord where you need resume building and showcasing work to enter data science? So, Namrata, that's a good point. Keep an eye on your email. We So this somebody else mentioned this point. So on this coming Tuesday, I'm going to invite a hiring manager from Microsoft. I mean, he used to work at Microsoft, and he recently changed, but he worked at Microsoft and did a lot of hiring for Microsoft. And he will. So I'm talking about Rajdeep Biswas, right? So he will come and he will actually go through some of the resumes and will share what a good resume look like, what a bad resume look like, and he will review your resume live on this event. Okay, so keep an eye on your email and please make sure to attend that one. Let me see if that event is already live. I can share the link with you and you can join it right away. Give me 1 second. So this upcoming event, I hope it's created. Maybe not. Okay, it's there. So let me share with you. Okay, the team is still creating it, but I can share link with all of you. Okay, the banner and all is not there. But guys, sign up for this event. It's on coming Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Uh, so join. Make sure to join this event, right? For resume and LinkedIn, it will be very very helpful for you. Okay, what else? Which can help us penetrate in this role. Okay, one of the biggest problem these days is CV is not being picked up for the next round. You probably CV
I
review.
guess your Tuesday session will help you in that.
Yep. So Pratish, I just shared the link. Make sure to join there. Understanding how to pull out the meaningful insights from data and how to showcase maybe a guided project. Okay, so I think strong need
Today
of projects.
we're going to do that insights part of it today.
Yeah, that's
One
the
part of it.
today. Okay.
Looking at
Interest.
your our own pace is great, but joining a study group or finding study buddies, if it can make study more fun. So I guess the Discord community, if you post over there, you might find a lot of people who are interested in, or they
Yeah.
are doing a similar kind of stuff.
Yeah, guys, why don't you? Okay, so this is a good point. I can start this conversation uh, where who wants to join anyone, right? They can, and then we can hopefully help them group together. Okay.
Or we can also start a discussion on this, like how people are preparing for a data role, like what is their roadmap which they are following. So you might, as a fresher or somebody who's starting, you might get a lot of ideas that how people are working in either they are practicing questions or they are doing projects, what they are doing.
Hmm. Ashish has this question: is it possible to become a data scientist as a fresher? Ashish, I would love to show you, share my screen right now, and show you an example that one of our candidate recently landed a job as a data scientist with 0 years of work experience.
Yes.
Right, so it is absolutely possible. Her name is Nikki, and I will also share my discussion with her. So I'll share that in an email. I'm working on that email, but I'll share that conversation. That would give you a lot of confidence, okay, that it is certainly possible. Proper structured schedule roadmap for data science to start and finish and where to where. Kunal, I mean, this is exactly okay. So I think we are addressing a real problem as a fresher in data, and many of us search for hands-on experience starting from basic topics to advanced. Perfect. So let's come to this topic real quick. Okay, why don't we get started now? We have enough audience to get started. Okay, cool. And has everyone liked and repost? I don't think people have reposted it. Guys, can you just take 1 minute to repost the event, right? So that we can have more and more audience and then we'll get started. Okay. And once you repost, please mention
Just write
reposted.
repost.
Otherwise Kunal takes it very seriously if you don't repost it.
Yep.
Make sure to repost it. Okay. So repost. Cool. I think we can get started. Let me see if I have everything on my screen. Okay. Cool. So let's get started, guys. Thanks everyone for joining us on Friday morning and Friday evening, those who are in Asian countries, for joining us for this live project. That certainly shows your inclination toward career in data science, getting into this space, right? Really, really. So we also enjoy working with candidates whose priority is right to first work for career, and then definitely other things are also important. So to get started with a quick introduction, I'm Aditya Sharma, co-founder and CEO of High Counselor. With me, I have my colleague Dr. Amit Lal and our mentor Kunal Nayak, who's a senior data scientist at Dell. Will jump into our introductions more. But those who are joining us for the very first time, let me share why we started uh, these live projects and where they're heading right now. So, guys, almost 8 9 months ago, we found that a lot of entry level candidates, people who are transitioning in their career or coming back to workforce after some time, they faced a lot of challenges entering into workforce, getting their first job because of not having hands-on work experience. And because people don't have hands-on work experience, they're definitely not able to perform well in interviews. Their resumes don't resonate it, they do not get interview calls, they're not able to crack interview calls. We found a solution of it, that we can pick and create a very unique data science project. I'm not talking about those very, very common projects. Again, another big challenge is that when candidates have very generic projects on their resume, which can be found on a million other candidates' resume, you would never get an interview call. And that's where we partnered with industry professionals like Kunal, who have worked in industry for more than 10 years as a data scientist, who have solved real problems. And we created projects that are in demand in the industry that will make you stand out. We started doing these projects live on LinkedIn, and we received massive traction. Our community on Discord, which we started just I think a few months ago, it's 5,000. But apart from that, we have a community of over 200,000 people. A lot of them have already landed a job in the last few months. As Ashish just asked, as a fresher, can I land a job? So there are not just one, but many, many such examples of people who completed real world projects, added to their resume unique projects, right? And they were able to showcase that skill and get their career started in data science domain. So in today's session, we are going to pick one project, and Kunal will actually solve some of the tasks for you, because we found that 95% of the students are not even able to complete one task. Can you imagine, guys, when somebody complain that, hey, I'm not landing a job, but at the same time, if they're not even able to complete one or two tasks, that's a big matter of concern, right? And that's where we decided that Kunal can actually solve two uh, tasks for you. He will explain the entire code and the objective that will at least help you get started, and from that point you can move on, right, to complete the rest of the projects. And we have Discord community to help you out. And as a lot of you mentioned, that we need a guided hands-on experience, so we'll also talk about that later in this session. Okay. So why don't we get started with Kunal's introduction, and we'll take it from there. So Kunal, some people already know you who are
Yep, yep,
repeat attendees, but I think a lot of other people would also love to know you. So why don't you tell us about your journey?
yep.
And here we
Hey,
go.
and Michael is also here. Thanks, Michael, again for joining in.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, again, your screen share has gone actually.
My screen share is gone. What's happening to my screen share? Okay, let me try again. Can you see it now?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, absolutely. Hey, hey guys, my name is Kunal Naik. I'm a senior data scientist, but the role that I love to do is to coach, train, and teach in data science. I love doing that any time of the day, and also doing it from my vacation. My objective and my intent for you is that I help you become a world-class data-driven decision maker and a leader by executing real world projects that have relevancy, that you can really go into an interview and talk about the experience and speak about how you have solved the problem. So although we have a lot of coding technologies that are there, but it's really about how you solve the problems and methodologies around that. So my intention is that to bring you that and be able to ensure that you succeed in cracking that, getting a resume selected, cracking that interview, and getting that high paid job. So that's about me. Thank you.
Okay. Amit, so would you like to go next?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. This is Dr. Amit. I am head of business operations at High Council. So, I started my career by doing like bachelor's in computer science. After that, I did my MBA program into marketing and human resources. I did my PhD program in marketing research. I was an alumni of Research Summer School at IMA. I worked in started my work experience at working like companies like Wipro, Reliance, and ICICI Bank. Then I moved to teaching. I have worked for more than 10 years into teaching industry at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Now also, when I get time, I teach on my YouTube channel, which has more than 100K of following in YouTube.
Okay. A little bit about myself, guys. So I did my BTech from NIT Jalandhar, and then I came to US in 2015 for my master's degree at Duke University. I landed my first job at PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's one of the big four consulting firms as a tech consultant. Worked there for about a year in Chicago and then moved to Deloitte Consulting in San Francisco. Worked there for about 3.5 years. And during my time at Deloitte, I worked mostly in the Salesforce and data analytics division, where we did a lot of projects on data migration, moving legacy systems to cloud platforms. And that's where I got introduced to data science and data analytics domain. Also, as part of the recruitment team, so for Deloitte, I recruited a lot of entry level candidates in data science and their Salesforce cloud division. And that's when I started getting interest in career counseling, mentorship, helping people to land their job at top tech companies. So in 2020, I decided to leave my job from Deloitte and launch High Counselor. And our journey at High Counselor has been amazing. I started this with my co-founder, and until now, we have helped more than 600 people land a job in the United States. We got backed by a bunch of VCs and angel investors. We raised about $2 million in our pre-seed round. So that's our journey at High Counselor, but we are very, very passionate about doing real world projects, helping people get hands on work experience and get their career started in data science and software engineering domain. So let's get started with today's project. Uh, Kunal, would you like to share your screen to get
Yes,
started? By the
absolutely.
way, today's project name, guys, is it's Know Your Customer Better, RFM analysis. Uh, and if I give you, Kunal, would you like to give like a project description
Yes, I'm
before
giving
sharing
that.
the
Yeah,
screen,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
we'll jump into it.
Hope everybody can see my screen.
Yeah. You want to share your? Okay, let me.
Yeah.
Cool. So, guys, Kunal will give you a quick project description, an initial, what do you call Kunal? Like the basic technical
The,
overview of the skills or like the fundamentals that is required, and then he'll
yes,
jump into project, and we'll
yes,
get all of us will get started on a project together. Okay.
absolutely. Thank you. Okay, guys.
Janaya,
So
go ahead.
yes, yes. Okay, guys. So we'll get started. What is RFM analysis? And this is really, has anybody heard of this? Put RFM in the comment section. If you've heard of RFM analysis, put RFM in the comment section. Now, this analysis is really a marketing concept. It has been one of the first projects that I ever did. And although this is from marketing, the field of marketing, but it has, relevancy in most of the domains that we have worked. And anywhere really there is transactional data. So how many of you have heard of RFM? Put RFM in the comment section. We're going to break this down, but primarily we are going to first of all understand this particular part of it. What is the entire process? Then we go understand RFM, and then we're going to go into calculating or writing the code to that. Absolutely, Tanisha. Very nice hearing from you. Okay, so now I'm going to give you my perspective of how this analysis is done. Okay, cool. Now, those of you know, um, like last few sessions, you have seen what we have done. We're going to do the same thing again. Now, RFM analysis is really converting transactional data to increased sales and profits. So when I say transactional data, what I mean by transactional data is really this, right? You have a customer who purchases a certain product, There's an order ID from a location, and then on a certain date, a certain amount. And you can see transactional means wherever there is date and time column and users are making transaction, this is a transaction data. Okay, so put TXN in the comment section if you understand that. Thank you very much, Pratish. Yep, perfect. Now, why is this important? The idea here is that you analyze the transaction data to increase sales and profits, but the question is how, and that is what we are going to be looking at. So first, let me give you the overall process of it. And a lot of you who are asking, uh, so we don't have projects that are relevant, that we cannot show. It's because you heard of, maybe you have heard of RFM analysis, but if you are not able to articulate how you perform that analysis in steps, and how you increase the sales and profits, that's where the last mile is. A lot of people have done this, but they don't take the last mile effort, that is how to ensure that you increase the sales and profits. And that is where we are going to be well begin. Okay, and then we are going to take one or two tasks which we will do, and then you continue to doing all of doing the rest of the task. Okay, the first step really is going to be gathering some customer data, right? So we basically gather certain data like this, and it's continuously gathering in the database, right? It's continually getting collected in the database, and this is often millions, sometimes billions of records. If you take at scale companies like Walmart or Tesco, right? These are big companies, and transactions are happening a lot in a very high frequency. Then what you do is you determine the RFM score. Now I'm going to go into what is RFM in the next slide, but just determine the scores. So really it's all about identifying, okay, if this customer has recently purchased, how frequently has the customer purchasing, and what is the money they're spending in it. Okay, then what you're going to do is we're going to assign customer segments. So you're going to say, okay, here's the most frequent customer, most frequently buying customer, but he's only buying very low value items. But here's another customer segment who's frequently buying, but he's also frequently buying high value items. Okay, then we have a low frequency customer who's who's bought maybe once or twice, but he has bought a very big huge transaction in the store, right? So we have various segments, and all of this basically will help us increase the sales in the store by knowing exactly who these customer segments are. And then what we do is we analyze these customer segments, how they're spending, what behavior, what time, when they do it, what are they buying, and we analyze all of that to basically then again implement targeted marketing. And that's why you receive those messages on ads or everything like that, because there's something that is going on behind which is targeting you to for that particular product. How many of you have received ads the moment you check out a certain YouTube search on a certain idea, and suddenly ads are showing up, right? This is primarily odd advertising, advertisers segmenting, customing, doing some specific targeting on you. But we take this to a notch level, a level up, using transactional data, and then get more sales and profits. And finally, the last step is to monitor and evaluate the entire process, so that you're continuously improving the sales and profits just by looking at the data. Or else, if you don't do this process, you lose a lot of sales amount or profitability just from the existing customer itself, right? So imagine this: you got a customer. Now if you don't know if they have if you don't know if that they have some potential to buy even something more, then you lose a lot of sales revenue there. Okay, so how many of you got this? Put RFM in the comment section. We're going to move into the next one where I'm going to describe each of it, and then we'll move on to the task. So how many of you got this? Put RFM in the comment section. RFM in the comment section. Now, for those who are already knowing this particular thing, when you go into an interview, right, if you describe these steps and then be able to articulate how to calculate RFM, which is a metric, and then be able to write a code to be able to procure that, that's where you complete the cycle, and then finally link it to the sales and profitability to ensure that you are doing a quality project, right? Most of you write the code, they write the code to do the analysis, but you don't really represent the insights of what it means. You have to give the RFM segment to enable the business to target these people, and so therefore getting sales and profits. So we should be able to articulate that. Okay, so that's why we do this particular analysis. Thank you very much, Ashok, Ramkesh Sharma, Ruchika and Sachin. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to the next part. What are the RFM metrics that we have? We typically have three RFM metrics. It's called recency, the freshness of a customer activity, be it purchases or visits. So I'm going to show you that how to calculate that visually, and also I'm going to show you how to do it in Python code. So time since last order or last engaged with the product. So that's what the recency is. Put R in the comment section if you know if you understand this. So recency is the freshness, right? So if you go to a grocery store, let's say today's date is 6 December. If you went to the grocery store yesterday, then you have made a very recent purchase. Versus if you made a purchase 3 months ago, then your recency is very it's going to be maybe 30 days ago, right? So that maybe 90 days ago. So that's a very very late recent frequency is 2 3 days ago, 2 days ago, like that. So that's recency. And then put R in the comment section if you understand that. Then frequency is how many times did you go, right? So you would probably go get egg, milk, and bread on a very frequent basis, right? You'll go down to the store, or maybe order it through a quick commerce platform. You get that as many times as you can, right? So that's the frequency. The total number of transactions, average time between transaction and engaged visits, that's the frequency. Put F in the comment section if you've got this, and put F in the comment section if you know what I mean when you are ordering stuff from Amazon, right? So how frequently are you ordering from Amazon or Swiggy? That's the frequency, because Swiggy is doing some analysis to ensure that you frequently buy from them very consistently, giving you coupons, giving you offers, clubbing some products, right? Nudging on vacations, on holidays and seasons. So they're completely nudging you to ensure that they're frequently doing, you are doing frequently on them, on their platform. And last but not least, we have monetary, which is the intention of a customer to spend or the purchasing power of customers. Example, total average transaction value. Now, this is basically what is the capacity of the customer to spend on your platform. Maybe let's say your electronic store, and then you have the new iPhone launched. So you cannot simply just shoot a mail to every customer base that the new iPhone has launched, right? You will identify who has the monetary capacity, maybe who has the capacity to pay EMIs, and you will basically categorize all your customers according to that, and then be able to send the campaign. Or else, if companies did and send email and messages to every customer that they have, it will just spam all the customers, and they may end up blocking the company, and so unsubscribe from the emails, hence therefore losing the transaction. So how many of you got the monetary? Put M in the comment section, guys. Put M in the comment section. Put M in the comment section. Now, although some of you might some of you might be asking this question, okay, Kunal, but recency, frequency, monetary, how does that help? Definitely it is helping within this particular part of it, but how does it help really in other businesses and transaction? Yes, it is the thinking behind this, guys. It is how these metrics are calculated. It as whenever you're starting off as a fresher, or somebody who's coming into data science, right, you'll see that a lot of metrics that you calculate easily can be bucketed in these three things, and that's where, like, you sort of take whatever you have, what kind of data you have, and convert it into something that we can work with, guys. So thank you very much, guys. Okay, cool. I have one doubt. This is Ashok's question. Say if a new customer was first time who bought today and huge amount, he'll have high recency score and monetary score. Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, the score will be determined at Ashok, and then as day passes by, right, this score will change, right? So as soon as it's hot, definitely, it will be flagged, right? And that can be for a particular campaign or whatever it is, Ashok. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yes. Yes, Krishna Priya. Absolutely, you're right. Perfect. Cool. Now that we understand this, guys, put metrics in the comment section if you understand this. Now it is all about calculating these metrics and then being able to execute this particular part. So this is where we start the hands-on. How many of you are ready to execute with me these particular tasks? And I'm going to show you like 8-level tasks which you will have to complete. I'm going to show you the first 2 tasks, get you started, and then you're going to march forward and try to complete the entire project. Okay. So how many of you are ready to execute? Put E in the comment section. Put E in the comment section. Put E in the comment section. Okay, cool. So for being able to execute what I want, yes, thank you, Ruchika, Narinder, Pratish, Michael. So if you're ready to execute, first of all, head over to the High Council platform, right? And you're going to searching for this particular part of it. Know your customer better journey through RFM analysis, right? And this is the project that you're looking for. Okay. So how many of you are able to log into this platform and be able to start this project? And if you start this project, you should be able to come to this particular platform, right? So I'll just hand it over to Aditya just to get you the walkthrough, and then we'll come back over here to execute the first project. So we have to come to this platform where it says know your customer a better journey through analysis. Okay.
Okay, guys, I can quickly show you how you can reach there. So simply go to highcounselor.com. Okay. Or we have actually named this project platform specifically as project. So either you can go to highcounselor.com and at top you'll find projects over here. Go to view all project. You'll need to create a free account for first time if you don't have an account on this. And this project platform we call project 101.ai because it's all about projects only. Okay. And here you need to search a project name over here. Can you see this filter right over here? So you go here and search RFM. Just search RFM and you'll get this project called Know Your Customer Better, a journey through RFM analysis. And when you search, you'll find this project over here with Kunal's picture. Click on start button and it will take you to a sandbox environment, right? So as I said, you'll need to create your account once. So I've already have my test account with me. So I'll log into my test account. You'll need to create through Google, LinkedIn, GitHub. You can simply create your account. Okay, so search again RFM analysis, RFM, and you'll find a project over here. Click on start button. As I said, it will take you to your sandbox. Okay, it is taking you over there. It will just take a minute maybe. Yep. And you'll be taken to your sandbox. Those who are doing it for the very first time, right, you'll get a pop-up. You'll get a pop-up where you'll need to create this instance once, which will take like a minute of your time, right? So for example, yeah, you'll get a pop-up like this. So simply click on continue or start, whatever button you get, and it will get ready for you in a minute. So if you can let us know in the chat box that you have reached that particular project, that you're able to find the project. Kunal, what word would you say people to type if they know, if they've identified the project
Put
and are able to
sand. Put sand in the comment section.
sand?
Put
Yes.
sand.
Because Kunal
Sand.
is near beaches right now, so he is recommending sand. Okay, so let's see. And guys, if any one of you is unable to find that particular project, let us know. Unable to find, and we'll help you figure out. Okay.
Kunal, I would have said snow.
Yeah.
Type in the comments no.
That's how we know we are a global company.
uh,
Unable to
unable
open,
to open the
Namrata.
project.
Okay.
Okay. What is the issue, Namrata? If you can let us know, what is the issue?
Yeah. So Namrata, you need to go to highcounselor.com. Let me put it on the screen for everyone. Go to highcounselor.com and right at the top there is an option called projects. Under that, view all projects, and you'll reach there. Okay. Boom. So now, yep. So highcounselor.com projects, view all projects. You should be able to see it there. Sand, sand, sand. Okay. A lot of you have confirmed. If you want to take one more minute, guys, please take it, and then we'll literally start on the project. Okay. Namrata, try this and let us know if you are able to find this project. And just let me also add edit this thing and then search project name, search project name RFM. Okay, we'll see guys how we can make this process even more faster so that you can find it in even lesser click. Okay, search project name RFM. Sure. Okay, this is all you need to do. highcounselor.com, projects at the top, view all projects, search project name RFM. You'll be all set. Okay, so I think we can. Site is slow, maybe a lot of requests coming though. Okay, Namrata, although this should not be a case because we don't have that much. I mean, we can handle like almost 1,000 people at a time, so it should be good. Okay, cool. So Kunal, you can share your screen and get
Yep,
started.
perfect. Okay, guys, so let's do this. Right, so follow it. We are probably good in time, so we will maybe do task 1, task 2, and task 3. Now, I'm going to first visually show you all of it so that you know exactly what happens. Most often, when you learn something new with the code, you don't often visualize how you're calculating it. A lot of you learn code but don't know how to calculate it. There's something called as a data vocabulary, which means you need to know how to basically when to summarize something, when to aggregate something and then use it in a formula. And that is why we first need to visually see how that particular calculation is done. And once you know the calculation, it becomes easy for you to translate that into code. How many of you get this? Put VIZ in the comment section. Visual. I'm going to show you visually how things are going to be done, and then be able to calculate that in the Python code. This is how we learn practically, right? Because often as data scientists, we spend a lot of time calculating metrics that business wants to see and or have a business impact. And so when we don't know what to calculate, we don't know what code to write. Although you might have learned every code that is there in pandas, but like unless you know the vocabulary to be able to calculate it, you will not be able to write the code effectively, and most of you get stuck there. How many of you get stuck when you read something and you're not able to translate or write a code there? Put stuck in the comment section. When you try to attempt and you know that you have to get something but you're not able to visualize what you have to calculate. Put stuck in the comment section, guys. Put stuck in the comment section. Okay, perfect. So now let's move on to this, guys. Let's move on to the next part. The first task really is to import the data, and the data is going to be the data is going to be something that that we're going to import first. So this one we'll do very quickly. I'll give it to you. So the dataset name that we have, the dataset name is called customer data.csv, customer data.csv, and you can see that in the database here. It's called customer data.csv. We are going to import this particular data and then be able to perform this. So you'll have this one customer data.csv. Will import this one here. Okay. So how we're going to do it? We're going to first import pandas as PD, and I'm seeing already so many of you have already completed this task, and I'm going to say pd.read_csv, and then we are going to give basically customer data.csv, and then we are just going to print the data here. Okay, so I'm just going to run this. So it's going to import pandas and import this particular data, and then I'm just going to run this code here, right? So this is the code that we will be writing, right? How many of you are able to do this, write this code and submit this road and get this particular data? Put S in the comment section. Put S in the comment section. Those who are new, right? Those who are new, watch it run exactly like this. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to also ensure I gave that particular code in chat. To move on to the next step, you will see that the next task is disabled. So unless you do this button here, press the submit code and then verify it whether or not it's correct, you'll not be able to move on to the next step. So you're just going to click on the submit code, and then what it is going to do is it is going to evaluate that task for correctness. A lot of us don't know whether or not our code is right. So what we have done here in High Counselor is that every time you do a task, you first evaluate and then move on to the next task. That way, the next task is unlocked, and then you keep moving down down the stair. Okay, cool. Okay, how many of you got this? How many of you got this first step? Right, just take some time and do this part. I want everybody to execute, guys. And if somebody is if somebody is getting stuck or asking question, if you have an answer, please look at the comment section and just help them out, guys. It's all about, we have this policy, no man left behind. Whenever we are executing, we ensure that everybody does it. That's what somebody was mentioning. Can we do it together and ensure that we complete it? Yes. If you go together, then we are far more likely to complete it together. Okay. Perfect. Okay. How many of you getting this? First step, put 1-2 in the comment section if you got the first step, right? And the second task has been enabled. So I'm seeing Narinder done it, Nikita has done it. As you can see here, as the task is getting done, you are seeing Alia has done it, Alia Michael has done it. So I'm seeing a lot of you are doing it, and I'm extremely, extremely respectful for those people who are executing, because those who take action I've often seen get results very fast, right? The way you do one thing is determines the way you do everything. Okay, so if you're executing with me, you are an action taker. Put 80 in the comment section if you're an action taker. That's determined, right? Anytime anybody who is just showing up and executing is an action taker, every day I've seen, most often always win. Perfect. The next task now, we are going to calculate recency. For that, I'm going to move over to Excel. Now, you do not need to do this in Excel. I'm going to show you in Excel on how to calculate the recency. So the recency is really calculated like this. All you have to do is you have to take the purchase date, the maximum of purchase date, right? So say maximum of purchase date, and that is maximum of purchase date is going to be something like this, right? It's going to be maximum, and I'm going to go and select the maximum purchase date, and the maximum purchase date is really going to be, let's say, here. So that is 10 June 2023, and these are all the dates. I'm just going to format this so that it's visible, and we have a lot of date here from from, let's say, April to June, and the maximum that we have is 10 June, right? So this is the latest date. Now what I want is the recency being calculated like this, right? So we'll say recency, right? It's going to be basically the maximum date that we have minus the purchase date that we have here. Okay, so I'm going to fix this because this is the date. This is one date that we are going to be using often. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do that. And now if you see here, so if you see 11th April was like, 16 days ago from 10 June. And if I just like drag this down, you will see I'll get different transactions, and the most recent ones will be 1 day, 2 days. Some people have just purchased it recently. Okay, so this is how we calculate it. And notice there are several things happening. One, we are basically taking an aggregation that is max of this particular date, and then based on the max of that particular date, we are subtracting the date that we have here to get the recency. Okay, so that's how we get the recency. How many of you visually understood this calculation? Right, how many of you visually understood this calculation? Because now if you understand that step by step, if you noticed, I first calculate the max, then I did this difference and calculate the recency. How many of you got this? Put I in the comment section. Put I in the comment section, guys. Put I in the comment section. That is how we are going to be exactly doing it. The only one change that is going to be there within this particular step is that in Python, by default, the column that we have here is not in date format. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this particular date first, convert it into a date, and then be able to do this calculation. Okay, so how many of you understood this? Put a date in the comment section. How many of you understood this? Put date in the comment section. Put date in the comment section. Visually understood. Very nice, Narendra. Thank you very much. Michael, thank you very much. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Python now. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to Python, and first we're going to learn to convert this particular data, this one to date, right? So first what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to say data, we have data, and we have a column name called as purchase date. So I'm just going to copy this purchase date here within this particular part. Okay, so now purchase date, and what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to say pd dot and to underscore date time. So what we're going to do is I am going to convert, sorry, control Z. I'm going to convert this particular column into date first of all. Okay, so pd dot date time, right? So it's a pandas function to convert date time, and so I take this particular column, and if you notice, this particular column is really uh, uh, purchase date is really an object, right? So once we convert this into date time, this particular info, right, whatever we have here, this particular data will convert into date time format. Okay, so how many of you got this? All I did is I took the purchase date and converted it from an object to date time. Okay, perfect. Cool. So if you understood this, put U in the comment section so that I know you have understood this. Now I'm going to reset this, and I see a lot of you have already doing the second task also. Very nice, very nice. Thank you very much, guys. Awesome. Now that's what the date time is. Now the next task that we want to do, once we have done this, what we're going to do is we're going to get the max date. How can we get the max date, guys? We already extracted max date. So how do we extract max date here? So how do we extract the max date in max date, right? So what we're going to do, max date, we're going to take this particular thing, and in Python it is done by saying the column name and dot max. Okay, put max in the comment section. Put max in the comment section if you got this. So this is this calculation that we did here, the max date that we have here. Okay, and now we have this next one, that is this minus this, right? So we have a variable which is called as max date, and now we have stored this value here, and now we're going to do the difference here. Okay, so what we're going to do now, next part of it is here. I'm going to be calling a new column called as date, and I'm going to call a new column called as recency. Okay, hope the spelling is correct. Recency. Okay, that's there, and then this is going to be recency. This is going to be something like this. It's going to be max underscore date minus data, and then we have the purchase date. Remember that column that we did, right? So we have this one and we pasted it here. Okay, and then what we're going to call this is called this particular part of it to days, to get that same thing, right? We want to convert it in days. In Excel by default it is in days. The reason, how many of you want to know why this is default in days? How many of you want to know this? This is a big thing, secret that you will know about. Yeah, Namrata, the reason is this is an outdated data. This is an outdated data, and we have only maximum till June. That is why what we are trying to do is we're taking the maximum date here. Typically, if you are on June 10, June 23, you will do the calculation. And that is why we are taking the max date. This is a best practice, because sometimes, you know, you will often have working with, let's say, 3 months batch dated data or 6 months data. Right. So best practice is to ensure that you take the max date and calculate the recency from there, so that it is in time bound. Okay. Got it, Namrata? Very good question. Very good observation, Namrata. Okay, now here's a trick, guys. Super trick, guys. Now notice, right? If I have two dates like this, right? There is like a end date, and there is like a start date. Now, typically, many of you, let's look at this. So if you have the start date and if you have an end date, something like this, right? What happens is that to get the number of days between them, we need to do some calculations, right? But what happens in Excel is that by default, dates are always number. They are a number. Okay, so they are a number like this. So if I simply just do this particular number minus this particular number, I get 60. That is why I'm already getting days like that, right? So the reason this happens is that, Excel measures the dates from zero, and this is an interview question, guys, right? And this, any platform will have this particular part of it. Now if you understand this, in any platform you can deal with dates much more effectively. Now if I convert this into a date time here, right, it's going to be 0 January 1900. Put 0, 0, 0, 0, put 0 in the comment section if you understand that, guys. A 0, the date is 0 January 1900. And from then onwards, if you take 1, it's going to be 1st January. 2, it's going to be 2nd January. 3, it's going to be 3rd January. 4, it's going to be 4th January. 5, it's going to be 5 January. And so forth till 45027, it's going to be this. Okay, so how many of you got this, guys? This is a very, very critical understanding of how dates you get. If you understand this, you can play around with dates. So in Excel, by default, you're going to get that. And if I format this into dates, right, you will have 60 days, which is the number of days that we have. And that is exactly the same calculation that we did here, right? And now if I look at the data, I will have that same recency available here. Okay, how many of you got this, guys? Not only are we writing the code, but we have like literally breaking down how we write the code, what are the crucial elements, what are the data elements, formatting elements to be able to get to this calculation. Okay, so how many of you got this? Put a 0 in the comment section, 0 for 0 date, right? This is very, very important. Once I understood how this date works, right, any tool I was able to ensure that I make good date work. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so how many of you are able to get this? How many of you are getting able to get this? Put 0 in the comment section. Put 0 in the comment section. Okay. Hey, Ruchika, I'm gonna paste this code in the comment section. So just look at that particular part. Okay. Cool. So how many of you got this? Can I get a yes, no in the comment section? Can I get a yes, no in the comment section? Yes, no in the comment section. Now, how many of you are mind blown? Right? Like being able to see it and understand the code, it gives you a superpower. Gives you a superpower, guys. Okay. Perfect. Okay, okay. So how many of you are ready to move on to the next task? Now you submit your code, and then you will move on to the next task. You'll move on to the next task. So submit this and you move on to the next task, guys. Okay, so I'm checking this. Hopefully it's right. Hopefully it's right. Yes, it is right. And I can move on to the next task, which is calculating the frequency. Okay. So I want everybody to do this particular part of it, guys. Can you all please do this quickly? Right, can you please do this quickly? Now we're coming to the frequency. How many of you are ready to learn what is frequency? How many of you are ready to learn what is frequency here? How many of you are ready to learn this? Put F in the comment section if you're ready to learn this. Put F in the comment section if you're ready to learn this. Okay, now as we are moving forward, now we are going to be doing the frequency part of it. So first I'm going to show you visually how to do that. Okay, first of all I'm going to show you how visually to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make some room for calculating the frequency here. Okay, I'm going to make some room for calculating frequency here. Okay, so frequency is really this, guys. Now in pandas, in Excel, it's really possible to do it in one calculation, but I'm going to show you how it is going to be done if it had to be done using Python pandas. So first what we're going to do is this, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to insert a pivot table on this, right? And all we are going to be doing is being able to take the customer ID and the order ID and the frequency of it, right? So I'm going to say, I'm going to not take sum, but I'm going to just take the count of this. Okay. I will say, yeah, show values, summarize values as count. So basically, if I sort this one down here, you will notice that the customer 7363 has purchased 3 times, 480 purchased 3 times, 5557 purchased 3 times. And that's how I get the count of frequency. But the only challenge is that this frequency is now present in one sheet here, right? It's present in one sheet, and I need to take this frequency back to this table here, right? So the way I can do is I can look up this customer ID and look up this frequency here. So I can just say we look up the customer ID, go back to this table here, right? Fix it, comma 2 and give exact match. So now the frequency comes beside this particular part of the customer here, right? So this usually you could do it using count ifs formula, right? So you basically take the count of this number of customers here and then give the range, right? Fix it, close the bracket, and you will basically get the count of this same customers here. Okay. Wait, something has gone wrong here. Right. Sorry. Get a range, and this should be here. F4. Yeah, and then if you do the same thing, you will get the same exact thing. That is a lot more easier to do it. But in Python, we are going to do this, right? What we're going to do is we're going to create a pivot such as like this, and then look up and then merge this data back into this frequency. So how many of you got this step, guys? How many of you got this step? Okay. How many of you got this step? Okay. Cool. But what we're going to do different is you're going to make these steps, write these steps and do it. So I'm going to give you the code and do it. And then what we're going to do is move on to the next step. I'm going to pass it to Aditya and be able to move on to this. But how many of you realize the potential of this, right? To be able to execute projects and look at it in the background and do and be able to perform the steps, that is critical. And then what happens is that you'll be able to write codes a lot more better and faster, right? So if I give you this logic right now, whatever I have done, because you have seen it how it works in the visual background, and this video is going to be available on YouTube and LinkedIn. It's going to be available. So I recommend that you look at it, look at the steps, and then translate that into code. Okay. And that, my friends, is how we are able to convert logic, problem solving, and like the this thinking part of it into code. And that's where the real world project comes in. Most people, most of you often are given write a code. For what? For what calculation? For how? What are the steps? How to visualize it? How do I do it? And trust me, you will get more complicated metrics than this word here. Sometimes some of the metrics takes even so much time for us to calculate. And that's where we, Aditya, Amit they have put all the effort to be able to providing real world projects so that you get these nuances and be able to execute and ask questions and understand this. So yeah, with this, what I'll do is I will leave you with this problem. Now you continue, move down all of that, and then execute all the steps. And with this, I want to hand the thing to button to Aditya. Aditya, over to you. Yeah.
So Kunal, like, thank you so much, like, for explaining two tasks. And guys, you must have seen, right, the amount of effort, or like, Kunal is taken to explain you every single thing. And during my time at Deloitte, I was doing a project, a cloud implementation project for Fox Studios, uh, where we were migrating one of their legacy systems to a cloud platform, and we solved a very similar problem of what you just saw, right? So this is very, very relevant to what we as a data science or data analyst professionals that we do in different companies, right? So when you do these things, add it to your resume, explain it well in your interviews, that makes a big, big difference. And as we asked people at the beginning of this session that, okay, what exact help you need? And a lot of people said, like, we need guided one-on-one help to complete these projects, right? And we learned actually in last 6 to 9 months that just providing projects is not going to help them, because 95% of people are not even able to do 1 to 2 tasks. Guys, that means you are very, very far from becoming an employer favorite to get a job, right? You need to first be able to solve these projects, be very comfortable, show it in your resume, talk about it in interviews. And then I think you should expect that, okay, I deserve a job right now. I'm not discouraging you, but that is the reality, guys, right? I have taken those interviews, and we clearly asked this sort of question. We expect this level of expertise, right? And that's why, guys, after learning directly from you, we have created a package of 3 projects in which Kunal will explain each and every project task, will explain solution, and will make you complete these 3 projects end to end. Okay. It will be a 3-week program. Let me share my screen so that I can explain it to you and you'll understand it better. So we have created a package of three hands-on real-world projects, one for data analyst target job role and another for data scientist. In 3 weeks, we are going to complete 3 projects. It is going to start from this coming Monday, December 9th, and we are going to accept very limited candidates because Kunal cannot explain this or cannot take one-on-one queries for thousands of candidates. So we'll be only doing it for a very limited 30 candidates. We are even thinking to reduce it to about 15 or 18 candidates, not more than that. Okay. And in these 3 weeks, Kunal will help you complete 3 projects. We'll also take a master class on how to include these projects in your resume and LinkedIn, and how to do a job search for data science. And you'll get High Council Project Platform subscription for 3 months as well. Okay. You can directly get this. If you're interested in this, simply go to our website, highcounselor.com. Right on top, as you can see, there is a live course tab. Simply go there, and there you will find two different options. One, if you want to become a data scientist, another one, if you want to become a data analyst. Whichever is your target job role, you can go and make a purchase. We have a discount for the next 24 hours that you can take, and yeah, you can go and purchase that whenever you are ready. And I can share the link of both of these projects on the chat, in the chat box with you. Okay. Kunal, anything that you'd like to explain more about how you're going to cover these 3 projects?
Yeah, absolutely. So the projects are going to be exactly hand on, right? So what we are doing right now, I'm going to explain first of all the context of what the project is, how to appear during the interviews, what to do in the interviews, right? So basically everything that you need to know to sort of start the project, right? And then once you understand the context of the project, how it's going to be fitting in for the profile, how you're going to be explaining it to the recruiters, right, or show the hiring managers, interviewer, then what we're going to do is we're going to basically sit down and go like this step by step, where I'm going to make you understand the task, let you fail at doing it, then I'm going to explain you visually so that you know what's happening in the background, and then we're going to code it, and then we're going to do this for every code so that you have the confidence to answer every question that comes in an interview related to that particular project. The idea here is that what we have seen is that the recall is very low. When somebody does a project, you can do the project. Yes, you have done a capstone project, you have done some project from YouTube, but when you go back to the interview, you don't really recall what you have done. That's because uh, you don't understand the data vocabulary behind it, and you being able to see me problem solve all of those tasks is going to give you the advantage, because now you are thinking exactly how we think while solving problems. And then I'm going to like right now we are doing 2 tasks, right? So I'm sure that you see that 2 tasks takes this time. Imagine doing all of the 10, 15 tasks and completing the project. I have this policy, no man left behind. That means each one of you are going to help each other complete the task till everybody has done it, all the questions are completely over, and all your doubts are clear, and then only you move out. And then you're going to repeat this every time, so that your recall is very very important, right? How much you can recall during an interview, that makes a really difference, and that's what we're aiming for, guys. So how many of you want to be more confident during it? Would put confident in the comment section. That's what we are gunning for, guys. Okay, so yeah, that's all. That's how we'll be driving it, Aditya. Yeah.
And one thing just to add to it, that this is this will be like a live coding kind of a
Yeah.
thing. And when we say hands-on, that means there is no recorded content over here. There will be live coding. Kunal will be coding each and every task. He'll be explaining you what is the logic behind it, so that when you write it in your resume, you should be fully confident in front of an interview that okay, I have done this project, we understood this project, and that's why we are mentioning, because we have already interviewed so many candidates. They are mentioning projects on their platform. Either those projects are very outdated, or either they are not very clear with how they have done that project. So this will be a complete hands-on, end-to-end coding with Kunal, completing all those 3 projects in the next 3 weeks, and then adding it to your resume, so that you should can be very sure that okay, these are the top 3 quality projects we have on our resume, and we can defend it in the interview also. So registration has already started. I guess we posted it on the last live also. So we are left with few seats, guys. So if you are interested, you can join in, and this will be a really good experience. You will have it.
Okay, guys. So we'll look forward to see who's gonna join us. Right. Again, guys, our objective is that we feel disappointed
And guys,
when.
if you can comment, how did you like this idea? Because
Yeah,
earlier
yeah.
we
Let
were
us know
only
about
like
that.
we were selling only the subscription of this platform, right? And which was also costing you around $100, right? So but now the goal is to make sure that everyone is completing the project. That is what the goal is, because we have already seen the data that almost like 80 to 90% people are not able to complete the project, right? So if you how did you find this idea? I'll be happy to listen to you. Will improve it according to your feedback also. And once we'll have this like first batch complete, because this is the first batch we are going through. Once this will be complete, we'll invite those people to these live sessions also, so that you can understand from their experience that how did they find those sessions.
Okay. Yes, guys, this is very important, right? I mean, it was quite disappointing for me personally to see
Mhm.
that people were not able to complete any
Yes.
task, right? And that's where we had to request Kunal that, okay, if we can find more time, right, to complete to explain every single task, right? So let us know about this idea. And I hope every one of you have signed up for the upcoming session on Tuesday, where we are going to do resume review or guidelines with data scientists from Microsoft. Okay.
Yeah. So one question coming up from Namrata: which are the Python libraries which will be using in the project? Yes, Kunal.
Yeah, so basically we are going to use, so see, libraries are basically tools, right? So when we solve a problem, I'm going to give you the framework or what libraries exist. And typically, we use libraries which is there to solve the problem. So you go to get the framework for how to approach that. But in short, if you want the answer, we're going to look at pandas, we're going to look at NumPy, we're going to look at some visualization libraries, right? Anything that is data related to the core of what we do as a data scientist, right? So that we're going to do. And then there are string libraries, mathematical, yes, you have sklearn, machine learning, all of those also. Okay. So yeah, everything that you typically see, think from an angle that it's not really about what libraries, there really is what problem you're solving, and then you determine what libraries you have. And often we don't know when we're solving problems what libraries we are going to use or what we may need, right? And so it's really about problem solving and finding out. Typically most problems have already solved and there is already some Python libraries existing for most of the problems, so we just find those libraries and then solve those problems. Yeah, that's my approach.
Uh, okay, so I can see which share the courses link again. I guess already it is there on the YouTube. Aditya has already shared it. I have also posted it right away. You can check it out. Okay. Any other question, guys, before we end this live session? We'll be happy to take questions on the courses if you have. We'll be happy to answer those also. Apart from that, also, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to take that also. Please share the Tuesday session link. I guess it is live on the High Counselor LinkedIn page.
Once, yeah, it should be on iCounselor LinkedIn page, but I can share that with everyone. If you have not signed up for it, please do so. Yeah,
And
I think a lot of
uh,
you have
just
missed
to
it.
add one more point till the time Aditya is sharing the link,
Yep, is
do
there.
not treat this one as a online course. This is not an online course. This is it's a hands-on training program. Very simple. This is not an online course, no recorded content. There is a very simple. There are three projects which we are going to solve live coding. Make sure everybody is completing it, taking up doubts. Everything will be live and hands-on, so that we have to make sure that at the end of 3 weeks we are good to go with With all those three projects, we understood the approach, we understood the whole concept, and then with the subscription we have for the next 3 months, we can do more projects on the platform. That's what the goal is. So the goal is to build competency among the people. It's a good approach of people who need to help in finish the projects. I love the subscription part as well. I have started to work on projects as well. That's completely fine, Tanisha. That if somebody is able to do it at his own level, that's completely fine. Uh, but we have seen that a lot of people not able to. They have started the project, but they have not completed it.
Yep.
They got stuck. Plus, there are some people who are also transitioning themselves into data analyst or data scientist. So they are not very comfortable or with SQL queries or maybe Python. So in that situation, it can be very, very helpful. Okay.
Hey, anything else, guys, before
Any
we
other-
wrap up?
Okay. I guess we are good.
All good. Okay, cool, guys. So we'll see you on either in the live training part for these three projects starting from Monday, or on Tuesday, we'll see you on the resume review with a Microsoft data scientist. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend. And if you have any questions, we are there on the Discord community. And I'll also try to stay in touch with you through email. So please don't miss out on my emails. Kunal, you have a wonderful time in Thailand, and we'll
Yes,
see you back soon in a week. Okay.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Yeah, and most
Thank
of the
you.
project on the
Bye,
platform
everyone.
deployment part is missing. Okay, one question before we go. Narendra is writing that in most of the projects in the platform, deployment part is missing. Please let me know regarding the same.
Kunal, what are your thoughts on it?
Do we
The
do?
deployment part, right? The projects deployments, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So again, right? So deployments, it has its own challenges definitely, but I'm going to point you in the direction how we deploy it, like do it, right? So there are ways like we have streamlined application, and if everybody completes the projects in time with us, I'm going to show you how deployment works. Like you can share projects which are like shareable link directly, right? So there are ways to do it, and I can show you that. So Narinder, yeah, good question. We can do that.
Hmm. And guys, those who are targeting data analyst, data scientist role, or even like software data engineering roles, writing about deployment, writing about CI/CD, Git or Streamlit, that is going to help you a lot. Because a lot of like as an employer, right, or we have our internal team of about 10 software developers and data science people. uh, we rarely found candidates, especially the early stage candidates, with good deployment, CI/CD pipeline, Git knowledge, right? So I think Kunal will be able to showcase you that very, very well, and if you can explain that in your interviews, I think that is certainly going to help you out. But great question, Harinder.
Yeah,
This
very
is
good. Mm.
I mean, you actually thought about from a real
End
world
to end.
implementation perspective,
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
Kunal?
Yes,
Which
end to end. Yeah, this is. I'm really happy that there are people who have seen that side of it. Really happy. Yeah.
And Harinder, actually, when we started High Counselor, I want to share a story. So when we started High Counselor, when I left my job from Deloitte, we built our platform. We just had like two developers in house, and they did not have any experience in CI/CD or Git. For a long time, we just used to do a file transfer. We used to use FTPs, right? Very manual way of like copy pasting all the files every time we made changes. We didn't have any nodes, any trees, right? And then we hired one person, I think after 2.5 years of launching High Counselor, who established the entire CI/CD pipeline. And I can't tell you the demand of that person, right? So now, if he after that he trained all of our team members, but it's a great skill to have. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's a great point, Narinder, and we'll certainly include the deployment part of it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I think we're good to wrap up. Thanks everyone for your time. We look forward to seeing you. If you have any question, feel free to reach out to us. My email ID, if you don't have, those you don't have, and if you want to reach out to me, you can always reach out to me at aditya@highcounselor.biz. Okay. And here I've added in the chat box for everyone. It's also on the screen. So feel free to reach out to me for any communication. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. And thanks, Kunal. Thanks, Amit sir. Bye.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.